So what does medical legal even mean? Medical legal can be thought of as the in-between between medicine and law and can refer to two things: the study and application of medical and scientific methods as evidence in a legal case, for example, paternity, cause of death, and this is also referred to as legal medicine or medical jurisprudence. And medical legal can also be thought of as medical law, which is the branch of law that governs proper medical practices. So while looking at the video tonight, I posted it in the morning and it's like nighttime now. I realized that I didn't give the answer to the question I posted in my first video, My Journey. So the question was, what percentage of physicians will get in a lawsuit of some sort, either directly sued or be part of a, be named as a defendant in a medical malpractice case? So I'll give you a few seconds to guess. I said to leave a comment below in that video, and I said I would give the answer, but I didn't. But anyway, so the answer, drumroll, is 100%. So if you are a physician in the US and you practice, let's say 50, 60 years, the chance of you getting into a lawsuit is near 100% with certainty. And there's multiple publications on this. So yeah, so don't worry about it. It's part of being a physician. Standard of care refers to how I like to say the majority of such and such profession would do in a certain situation. So let's take, for example, endocrinologists and a patient with hypothyroidism. So the great majority, let's say normal distribution curve, 95% of endocrinologists would prescribe a certain amount of levothyroxine and see the patient a certain number of times in outpatient visits per year. So when we practice medicine, try to be within that majority or go above and beyond. If we're ever below the standard of care in the medical legal world, that's called a breach of SOC or a breach of standard of care. And that really gives merit to a medical legal case. So medical malpractice attorneys can go after you if you ever perform in a subpar manner where it's deemed to be a breach of standard of care. So this is a question I get from a ton of my clients all the time. Should I be practicing medicine defensively? So this article is from the USC Schaefer School of Public Health. Why do so many doctors practice defensive medicine? Maybe because it works. Between 60 and 90% of US physicians report practicing defensive medicine, defined as the practice of ordering of tests, procedures, and other medical care solely to reduce the threat of malpractice liability. This additional care has been estimated to cost the US as much as $50 billion annually, and it's likely underreported. So my advice as a full-time medical legal consulting doctor that's worked on hundreds of cases and helped hundreds of doctors and nurses and healthcare facilities is not to practice medicine defensively and just order stuff. We're doctors and nurses. We know what to order. We know what's best for our patients. So order the appropriate things, but justify and document everything that you do order so it protects you. Causation in tandem with standard of care is the other component needed to establish merit for a medical legal case. So let's say that a doctor or a nurse or whomever makes a mistake. So they breach the standard of care. But if there's causation, so let's say that a patient dies of septic shock because a doctor did not put on the appropriate antibiotics or even start them on broad spectrum antibiotics in a timely manner, you now have causation for that damage. And so you really, if there's a breach of standard of care and there is positive causation, it equals damages. And so whenever a medical legal case has damages, it's what we call a meritorious case. And those are the cases that we as doctors and nurses, we don't want to be part of those. So make sure that you practice medicine well. All right, so what is CYA in medicine? And really CYA is in every field ever. So CYA stands for cover your rhymes with grass. So it is a potent technique. And it's honestly one of the best things I learned in medical school and in residency. So one way to CYA is to document everything. One thing that a couple of my attendings back in residency taught me is that if you didn't document it, it never happened. So you could, check a JVP, you could find swollen lymph nodes, If you, as a physician or a nurse, did not document that, then, you know, objectively, like based on retrospective analyses and assessments by attorneys or by expert witnesses, they can argue that it was never done. So always document everything and remember to CYA. One thing I tell all my juniors, interns, residents, and just friends in the medical field or pre-med students in college is that the medical degree, the MD or DO, is the most powerful degree that a person can achieve in their lifetime. It opens up doors that you cannot imagine. You could stay straight on the clinical pathway, go through residency, become an attending, or you can become a consultant in numerous fields, such as medical legal consulting. You can go into entertainment consulting, think Grey's Anatomy or House. They need actual MDDOs for their shows, just to read scripts. But I have a whole playlist on MD career pathways, and we'll be building up on it as time goes. So leave any comments and questions on fields that you want us to go over, and I'll be discussing the medical legal pathway more in depth in the future. I'm Dr. Mizan of Mizan Coaching, and these are my top 5 best and most lucrative non-clinical MD career paths. Coming in at number 5, medical writing. Number 4, medical informatics. Number 3, the public health sector. Number 2, medical research. And coming in at number 1, medical consulting, which includes medical legal consulting. Check out my channel for the full video on these non-clinical MD career paths, and how best to get into them, and really how lucrative they can be. And these are great for doctors who are sort of done with the 12-hour shift life of hospital medicine or the typical 9-to-5 clinical life of a clinical career, and really just want to do something different with their medical degree. If you believe you or a loved one have been the victim of medical malpractice, here are the 5 best tips you should take. Number 1, consult a medical legal consulting physician. Our team here at Mizan Coaching can guide you through a case, establish standard of care deviations, damages, etc. Number 2 is to gather relevant documentation, so prescriptions, progress notes, lab tests, everything. Number 3 is to consult with a medical malpractice attorney. Your statute of limitations is very short and depends on your state. It could be as little as 1 year, so file that case. Number 4 is to document everything, and I mean everything, like timing, names of providers, etc. And number 5 and final is to file a formal complaint with your hospital. And then once you have all 5 of these done, then you are squared away for getting your case on file and to pursue it, really. So check out our video below on a longer form vid on this topic. These are the best ways to advocate for yourself at the doctor's office. Number 1, prepare for your appointment. Have a list of questions, concerns, and prioritize the most important ones, because we doctors only have about 15 minutes per patient visit. Number 2, be clear and concise. You can look up how physical exams are written by doctors so that you'll know the language used to explain and describe to your doctor where it hurts, how much it hurts, how long it's been hurting. And be honest. Like, if you smoke, if you drink, if you do anything else, tell the doctor. They're not police officers. They just want you to get better. Number 3, ask questions. Always ask questions. Number 4, seek additional information. Ask for a pamphlet, any primary source publications. Number 5, be assertive and express concerns. Number 6, request second opinions if you feel like you're not really being treated well. And number 7, always attend your follow-up appointments. Hi, this is Dr. Mizan with Mizan Coaching, and the answer to this question, can resident physicians get sued, is unfortunately and unambiguously yes. Resident physicians can get sued. And about 25% of the cases that we receive are unfortunately against resident physicians, and we try to help them, we try to build a case. And so, this is why it's extremely important to document correctly, to always CYA, and regardless of who your attending is, who your co-residents, interns are. And for further explanations as to why this is the case in the medical legal world, and also ways to protect yourself, regardless of if you're a resident physician or an attending, check out our video below. Thanks so much. Here are 3 easy tips to improve healthcare communication. Remember that a failure of healthcare communication is what leads to medical errors. Number one, use your electronic health records. Do a thorough chart review. Check your patient's previous admissions, previous outpatient visits. Number two, perform thorough handoffs utilizing standardized methods such as IPASS. And number three, hold regular interdisciplinary team or IDT meetings to understand the full condition of a patient. For a full explanation of these methods, check out our video below.